I'm calling the meeting to order. Can you stand, please? And I'll ask Mr. Courthouse to start with the invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day and thank you for our beautiful county. Please guide our hearts and minds as we make our decisions today. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask this in the name of the Lord. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Our first order of business is the approval of the November 6th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Next, we'll turn to the Treasurer's report.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
First thing on the agenda is to give you the list of the bills that were presented. Accounts payable had a total of $1,191,971.58. Payroll for the period was $374,435.95. The 911 account had 10 checks and 5 EFTs totaling $23,565.91. LEPC account had a check for $33.70. Liquid Fuels, 2 checks totaling $2,743.60. CDBG account had a check for $20,817. And finally, the CDBG Home Program had 1 check for $42,445.
Diane, I don't know if I've ever noticed this before. It's direct deposit advice numbers. You see that under payroll? It says direct deposit advice.
Well, I think it's a fancy way of talking about all of our paychecks that go into versus the checks that you see farther over to the left, check numbers. And the reason it stops there is because I increased the font size because it was small and I lost the rest of the numbers. Sorry about that.
No,
I can make it right.
I see. Oh, I see. Those numbers. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any questions regarding the bills? If not, can we pay our bills? Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Continue.
Treasurer's report for the period starting at 11/5 and running through and including 11/18/2025. We have a general account starting balance of $476,408.88. Total debits for the period were $3,884,034 even, giving us an ending balance for the period of $2,612,439.24. And then finally, the reserve account has a balance of $8,695,779.46.
Okay, are there any questions on the treasurer's report? What is the motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have meetings and events, and my list has been turned over to the chief clerk. I think we're all finished with the last election. We just did meet to approve provisional ballots. That was about a week or so ago. And again, my list is the okay, Commissioner Watts.
My list is also with.
Okay, Commissioner Coach.
My list as well. I'd also like to welcome Aiken Stevens and Leah Barahona from MCTV here. Thank you for filming for us.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment for this morning? And I don't see any, so we'll just continue on to new business. The first item under new business is a request for exoneration of delinquent real estate taxes. The mobile home on this parcel has been removed, so there's a request for exoneration for the parcel. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, exoneration is approved. We have a purchase and service agreement with Mark Remy for the law from the office of Network Snow as the Assistant District Attorney for the period January 1st, 26th to December 31st, 26th. monthly sum is $5,833.33. The motion to approve Ms. Remy as the assistant DA.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the services will continue. Next, we have a project modification request for the substance abuse treatment grant. Warden Jason Manis will explain this to us.
Okay, so the grant was due to end December 31st of this year. We're not able to resubmit for another grant under the RSET grant program. So this extension would allow us to continue to work towards meeting our treatment and programming goals related to substance abuse. So there's a lot of different areas that grant covers, and 6-month extension would help us out.
Okay, this is amendment number 1. Okay, anything further for the warden on approving the modification request for the grant? If not, so the motion to approve the modification.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Jason. You can continue to the next.
Okay, for the memorandum of understanding between Mifflin County Correctional Facility and SAM Inc. This is just, we've had the MOU for, it's just updating it. They provide our mental health services for the individuals incarcerated, and we also do referrals to them for individuals after release. So this is just an update to our MOU.
Do you know, if this is on an as needed basis, how do they, because I don't see any rate here.
Correct, so they provide us currently with a mental health counselor at the jail. She pretty much takes care of interviewing everybody with the mental health needs, doing a assessment, and then referring them to SAM Inc. when they leave, seeing what mental health issues or needs they need while they're incarcerated.
I guess my question though, is it continuous, is it full-time there? She full-time?
She is, yes, and that's a whole nother, through JVBDS, it's not really through this memorandum. This is just that if we need them, they will provide services, and we can refer individuals for post-treatment after they leave the facility. So this doesn't get into billing or nothing like this. It's more, we need documentation for saying that we have mental health providers at the jail, and they do the majority of our mental health.
Okay, I do think it's key, I'm just reading this, the term of the MOU, this started in January 2022 and will continue until the termination of the agreement between the parties. So it can be terminated at any time where,
No changes in what they're currently doing.
Okay, any other questions for the warden? If not, is there a motion to extend the MOU with service access and management at the Mifflin County Correctional Facility?
So second.
Those in favor say aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have an agreement with Tri-Valley, Tri-County Drug and Alcohol, and Melissa Stewart will explain this to us.
Good morning. So this will be actually the 8th year of our housing navigation program that we call it through Tri-County Drug and Alcohol Abuse. So how that works is that they have case managers that identify those in need of housing. We have monthly team meetings, they make a referral, we do a warm handoff, and then we work collaboratively. Once housing is found and a lease is signed, we pay for 6 months, the first 6 months of their housing, but they do have to be active in their program and work the program in order to receive the assistance.
Okay, so this is for $47,730,
Yes,
and the funds.
the funds cover both rent and staffing. So the staffing that we utilize in our office for the work that is done to find the housing and the case management that is done.
Okay, and where do the funds originate, I guess?
Okay, well, I'm gonna
They-
defer to you on that one.
We received them from GDAP, and they're contracted to us through GDAP, and then we contract with Human Services to pay out for the services.
And DDAP is Department of Drug and Alcohol
Program,
Programs with the state.
yes.
Any other questions for Melissa? Or,
I do.
okay,
What happens after 6 months if?
After 6 months. So the case manager is working with them to do financial and budgeting case management. Throughout that time, they have to develop like a savings account so that they're able to pay some of their rent on their own. And throughout that 6 months, they have to pay their own utilities. So employment is required, or sustainable income is required, I should say. And then if for some reason they're still in a rough situation, if funds are available, we might step them down to one of our other housing programs and or just provide ongoing case management depending on what their need is. So it's really, we kind of meet them where they are with our available programs, even if it's just case management.
What happens if someone becomes unresponsive, uncooperative after, you pay 6 months up front, after a month, they say, we want to do it, they don't cooperate?
So in that situation, we have had that happen. I think we have done 2 evictions, and we're entering our 8th year, so that's really not bad at all. But we do move to evict in that situation. Typically, we don't have to, we just send them the notice and they leave on their own. That becomes an empty unit. We fill it with another referral.
for those questions. Any more questions for Melissa? Okay, if not, is there a motion to approve the agreement with Tri-County?
So, second.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, next we have the reappointment of Randy Leaster to the Solid Waste Authority for a 5-year term. This term will expire December 2030.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Leaster is reappointed. We have purchase of service agreements for children and youth. Paul.
Good morning. The first one is for Diacon Child, Family, and Community Ministries in Tofton, PA. They provide dependent and delinquent youth with access to behavioral health treatment through foster care and residential services. Their lowest rate is $47.84 per day. The highest is $260 per day. The next one is Marikey out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They provide dependent and delinquent youth with access to behavioral health treatment through foster care. Their lowest rate is $19.18 per day, and the highest is $248.88 per day. The next one is Family Care for Children and Youth in Milton, PA. They also provide dependent delinquent youth with access to behavioral health treatment through foster care. Their lowest rate is $70.43 per day, and the highest is $77.18 per day. And then the last one is for Bethany Christian Services of Central Pennsylvania, and they're out of Lancaster, PA, and they also provide dependent and delinquent youth with access to behavioral health treatment through foster care. Their lowest rate is $75.94 per day, and the highest is $173.04 per day.
Nicole, I noticed that all the descriptions are the same for these, even though there are different rates. So how do you choose?
So it's really dependent upon who has available foster families, who is closest to us, and who, when we have children that we place and we call them and we tell them about the child, they send us what's called a family profile, where we can read about the family and we try to make a good match so that the kids stay there and don't have to move to a different home. So it really just depends on the child and the families that they have available.
Okay, that's the point. Thank you. Any questions?
How often do the providers change? Because it seems like it's different like each meeting, how does that work? Do they contact you contact them for the provider to be in the system?
So, we kind of are notified, about the different providers, and then it kind of depends, like, there's some kids that, like, they might be in a residential place in maybe Reading, and then because they're there, we might become aware of a new foster care program that has a home for those kids because it's close by to where they already are. Is that what you're asking, like, how we get notified of the different companies?
Yeah, that and the companies itself, how often, it seems like they change periodically.
So we like to have options because, I mean, we want kids to stay in Mifflin County, but if there's not available homes, we really look anywhere in Pennsylvania. So that's kind of how. And we really have a list of providers that when we place a child, we start kind of at the top and call to see who has available homes for kids.
And a lot of these people now, we already have contracts with, and then when it's about to expire, we
Right.
call children. That's why you'll see some of the names that look common, because every year.
Yeah, maybe that, then like the change too, and stuff there.
And there's some that we use most often, like Families United Network has an office in Lewistown. They're the ones that we really use most often and have probably the most homes for us in Mifflin County. But if they don't have homes, then we have to start calling other homes, or else the kids will be maybe sleeping in our office. Thankfully, that hasn't happened, but in other counties it has. So that's kind of why we want to have options to do it, and we have to have a contract to be able to pay them.
Okay.
Anything else for Nicole? If not, is there a motion to approve the purchase of service agreements?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Next, we have reappointments to the Mifflin County Conservation District. The reappointments are Rebecca Herrick for 4-year term, Dave Filson for 4-year term, and myself, Robert Postal, representing the county for a 1-year term. Is there a motion to approve these reappointments?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have agreements for cleaning services with New Visions for the period January 1st, 2026 through 2026 until December. This pertains to the Annex Building, DJ's office, Historic Courthouse, and the Mifflin County Library. Is there a motion to approve the agreements for these 4 locations?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. We have a resolution number 9, authorizing the submission of an application to DCED for funding under local share for the Civic Connection Center. This will be phase 6 of the project, the multi-year, multi-phase project. Is there any discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve the resolution to submit the application?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have a purchase and annual service agreement with Pitney Bowes. This is for the postage machine. This is a continuation of the contract that we have for the mailing machine downstairs. It is $10,448 and $1,020.85 annually. Continuation of what we have. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Keep those from licking stamps. Okay? Next will be Carol from CEDACOG, and there's a change order number 1 with Geyer Brothers for the CDBG Juniata Terrace Water Main project. So, can you explain this to us, Carol?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Carol Hyde with CEDACOG. I am the project coordinator for Mifflin County Community Development Block Grant Project. I work with Jim Latier and Madison Price in the Planning Department. This year, Mifflin County has closed out 2 of its 3 competitive CDBG grants. Now we're closing in on the 3rd. The fiscal year 2022 competitive for the Juniata Terrace Water Main Extension Project. The main construction effort for that is a horizontal boring underneath Roundhouse Road and underneath several railroad tracks. Geiger Brothers' original contract was through July because they grubbed out the right-of-way at the beginning of April, and the expectation was that the horizontal boring and the rest of the pipe would be done during the summer. Primarily, the delay was from North Shore Railroad. There has to be an inspector on site during the entire boring process, so that was delayed until quite recently, and the engineer had held off working with Geiger Brothers to figure out how long they needed the extension for the contract. So things are moving more quickly now. The expectation is that the bulk of the work will be done this calendar year, which is fantastic. So the request is for no change in the contract amount, but a time extension through January 16th of 26. So we recommend that. Things are going well now.
Okay, so the new, again, to repeat, the new substantial completion date is January 16th, 2026.
Yes,
And that's just for the time frame, not actually adding any
correct.
money to the change order.
Correct.
Okay.
That was, yes, they thankfully did not have to mobilize twice.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor say, is there a motion to approve the change order number 1?
Motion.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, that change order is approved. Continue with the CDBG 2024 budget modification. This is on behalf of Lewistown Borough.
Yes, if I can request a
Oh, you want the
Here.
CDBG?
yes.
Okay, so we'll recess the regular meeting and convene a CDBG hearing.
Okay, so this is a public hearing. Lewistown Borough is an entitlement community. They would like to request Mifflin County as a grantee to approve abandoning the previously approved budget line for rec park improvements in the 2024 CDBG funding, abandon that and move 100% of that budget line towards a multi-year project to purchase replacement self-contained breathing apparatus units for the Lewistown Fire Department. So a couple months ago, we completed the request and approval to move Lewistown's 2023 funds to purchase, ultimately it will be 35 units. So the idea is that we will use 2023 and 2024 funds that we already have to purchase as many as we can. And then we've made a request for 2025 funding to complete that, to get up to 35.
Okay, so this modification is $121,475.
Yes,
Taking it from the rec park improvements line item and putting it into Lewistown Fire Department.
yes. So the rec park improvements project, that was a proposal. Primarily it was focused on repaving the parking lot at Rec Park or installation of handicap accessible playground equipment. But because most of Rec Park is not only the floodplain but the actual floodway, that was not a viable project. So that's where the council and borough manager wanted to switch the focus of the funds.
Okay, and approved by Lewistown already.
Yes, at their borough council meeting on Monday.
Questions for Carol? All right,
Thank you.
a motion? We won't take the motion.
So, hearing no comments or questions, I'll close the public hearing and
Okay, we'll reconvene then the general meeting and for presentation under the CDBG hearing. Is there a motion to approve the budget modification?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Karen. Okay, next we are advertising the display of the 2026 budget. This will be advertised under display on November 20th, 2025. Final adoption is scheduled for December 18th, 2025. I'm sure we'll have more to say at the adoption. I will just point out now that the budget does not include any increase in the millage of county taxes. Commissioners, you want to say anything in the meantime?
Yeah, I'll just note again, as Commissioner Post noted, the millage will remain at 15.77 mils. 2026 expenditures are budgeted at a 4.74% reduction from 2025. This is partially due to a decrease in anticipated grants. All the budget highlights are going to be put on our website this morning. So if you want to just go there, and it has all the categories by departments. Current anticipated revenue is coming in for 2025 below our county target. Estimates for the budget receipts of grants and outside funding are coming in below what we estimated. So actually last year in the 2025 budget, we used $419,734 as a figure for reserves to balance the budget. However, our expenditures are coming in under, so we're actually going to add to reserves this year. We will not be needing those budgeted funds we had in for this year. So that's a notation, as we note, often the budget is a tentative spending plan. You know, it doesn't always go as you plan through the year, but we've been coming out on the positive side each year. So again, visit the website to get the figures breakdown by departments, or if you want to look at the complete documents, it'll be available in our office after this meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Wise, anything? Okay. I think Commissioner points out that we are not using any reserve to plug any deficits, as some others are doing. And we want to thank the department heads and row offices for their input and their understanding as we put this budget together, which includes, again, no tax increase for the county. What more to say at the December 18th meeting? Personnel. Motion, excuse me, thank you, Commissioner. Is there a motion to approve the display of the 2026 budget?
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. We have personnel items. We have the hiring of Whitney Beverlin for deputy coroner, hiring of Colton Fleming for part-time corrections officer, hiring of Jesse Miskoski for part-time corrections officer, hiring of Timothy Moore for part-time corrections officer, and we have the appointment of Nakia Robinson for an internship at the Children and Youth Department. The motion to approve these 5 personnel items.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Our business is concluded for this meeting and it is adjourned.